Guys, it is officially a series! Episode 2 of F1 Race Review! La Ferrari on top!
The wheels 45. He's the best coaster to worldwide. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
You heard it, folks.
La Ferrari! Sainz P1! Charles P2! 1-2 Ferrari! Let's go! Carlos Sainz! Vamos, Carlos! Smooth operator! Smooth operator! That's right! Podium! Appendicitis! Win! Victory for Carlos Sainz!
It is the second episode of the Formula One race review by Bike and Coyote and Cheetah Wheels 45. And
boy, have we got one! We have got one! This was, of course, in
Melbourne, Australia.
Australia!
It was race 3 of the season, but don't be confused by episode 2 in race 3.
Yeah, it's we missed Bahrain. Anyhow, here were the standings for the race. Carlos Sainz, vamos, Carlos, P1 for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc, P2 for Ferrari. Lando Norris rounded out the podium in the third for McLaren. Woo! Oscar Piastri home race came 4th. Then we had Sergio Perez 5th, Fernando Alonso 6th, Lance Stroll 7th, Yuki Tsunoda 8th, Nico Hülkenberg 9th, and Kevin Magnussen rounded out the points. Albon just missed out. Here are the rest of the positions. Very nice. Now, let's get into big news of the race.
So, as we saw, classic Verstappen taking off after the red lights on lap 1, holding it to lap 3 until, I forgot the turn name. We'll have it on screen right here. Carlos Sainz takes Verstappen in on the inside, making a fantastic move. Some say that is Verstappen's first mistake of maybe like...
But here's the controversy. Verstappen, the robot he is, didn't make a mistake. It was the Red Bull rear right brake blew up, causing Max Verstappen to go out of the race.
Like, guys, we would say the energy was up here.
I got a little excited. Vamos, Carlos, smooth operator.
But it is a big moment. I mean, Verstappen, we haven't seen him DNF, in like 43 races?
43, that is correct.
And, I mean, Carlos, coming back after surgery with an outstanding performance. I feel like it's just,
smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
The other big news, Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes engine problem. They are known to be reliable, but this time they were out. He did not finish. Also, George Russell, the very last lap, just like Singapore last year, bended in the wall, spinning his car, almost doing a full flip. This meant no points for Mercedes.
No points at all. And you can almost say the same for Red Bull. I mean, Perez, he fought well, but didn't really put the Ferrari, McLaren up there.
Pick up the slack, Checo. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Big news, Ricardo
is the most washed driver on the grid. Like I said in episode 1, I feel as if Ricardo... He's a media boy now. I mean, he races for the cameras.
He cannot race this new generation. Get him out of here and get Lawson in that second seat alongside Yuki Tsunoda, who scored P8 to get RB best of the rest in the constructors. Let's go, RB, except for Daniel Ricciardo. You suck. Get off the grid. If you're watching, I love you, Daniel Ricciardo. You're my favorite driver.
Now, we already know Ricciardo sucks, which... He is on the team, Red Bull, Cash App, yada, yada, yada. The even worse team than that, does that make sense, is Steak.
Sauber. They can't make a pit stop for the life of them.
Oh my god.
Put the wheel gun on, take the tire off, put it back on. They can't design a wheel that's easy to take off. It's ridiculous. Sorry for my heated action.
6.8 seconds. 6.8 second pit stop. I say Valtteri Bottas, he's a likable guy, but
Cool Uber ad.
Cool Uber ad. If you guys have not seen our good old Aussie boy, he's accepted as an Aussie now. Bottas, his Uber ad is very
good. Alpine still don't look very good. Gasly did okay, but Ocon not good. The biggest news, well, not the biggest news now, that Vamos Carlos, smooth operator, P1 smooth operator, is Williams not bringing an extra chassis like rookies and a broke team, which means even though Albon crashed, he got to race and he eventually had P11. Very good result for Albon, but not quite in the points like they wanted. Will Dowles be happy or mad? We'll have to find out next media day.
I feel as if, I always make these bold predictions, but they usually are right. Like, Logan Sargent would have got 5th, I believe.
Very
if
true.
He had the car. His qualifying pace, he wasn't in qualifying, apologies. But was he in qualification?
No. He was not allowed because he didn't have a car.
Sorry, I had to double check that one. I mean, Logan Sargent's a good racer, so we just got to make sure when he's out and when he's in. In practice, though, he was flying. Someone say he is a next-gen Verstappen or even the Latifi, because Latifi, as we know,
the GOAT, my GOAT, except for Carlos Vamos, P1, smooth operator, smooth operator.
Anyhow, guys, got a recent Instagram post of a day 0 to day 16 look at Carlos Sainz, and it is honestly probably one of the best.
Recovering from appendicitis like that. Big move for Carlos Vamos. Anyhow, enough with this silly race talk. Let's get into our driver of the day.
Yes, our driver of the day. So, what about you, Cooper? What do you think your driver of the day is?
Vamos, Carlos! Vamos! P1! That never happens except for Singapore. 3rd race win for Carlos. He's my driver of the day, and if he's not yours, I respect your opinion.
Well, I hope you respect mine, because Carlos is not my driver of the day. He's all right. I mean, he started 2nd. He moved up 1 position. What, he raced without an appendix? That's less weight, dude. Car was faster. Gunther said. We all saw it. My driver of the day was, it was Zhou Guanyu, because he just wanted
to go from the pit lanes to not last, finishing ahead of Ocon. Great work, buddy. Great work.
I say if the pit limiter wasn't a thing, he actually would be 1st right now. Joe has put in a great amount of effort, and I think since Silverstone 2022, where his car flipped a total of 365 times, it relates to the Mayan calendar, the sun calendar. So what was the craziest DNF of the day, Cooper? What was the craziest DNF of the day, Cooper?
Now, let's go visualize George Russell, but in terms of importance, Max Verstappen and the Red Bull Racing. You, Archer?
I have to agree with that statement, because Verstappen, I mean, we don't see this ever. I mean, Red Bull, I mean, they have a great track record. And for them to slip up like this, holy guacamole.
Australia always providing a great race. Now, Archer, let's think. Best overtake? I'm going to have to go for Alex Albon and Kevin Magnussen into the steep left into right-hand corner. One of the best corners on the calendar. Yeah. And Albon just braves it around, and I don't know how they didn't touch. Great overtake, Albon.
Yes, I do have to agree with that statement. I'm not going to give it the best overtake. Sorry.
Okay.
But I can definitely agree with that. That was like some crazy stuff. I was like, I'm going to have to give it to my boy Oscar Piastri.
Ooh, I respect that.
Because, the adrenaline of just watching an Australian race and having that ability to get the podium as the first Australian in Melbourne, because we learned that through the...
So which overtake of his?
I'm going to say the one on Lando Norris, because when he got teammates versus each other, it's pretty dangerous. But when Lando came back, I did get a little sad. I did sink a bit deeper into my chair. It was just a devastating moment. But that's how racing works, Teammates aren't like, oh, you have the right of way.
It's sad sometimes.
You go enjoy history. Oscar Piastri can't make history off of winning an easy race. History isn't about how easy things are. It's about difficulties, like Napoleon and the French stands, or George Washington, just because he was such an important figure. And I don't want to go overkill, but Abraham Lincoln. I mean, what two great men.
They both call him the denture men.
Yeah, they actually call Abraham Lincoln a liar. Back.
I don't remember that. But the message is that you can't have the highs without the lows. Oscar coming home fourth. It will be a little heartbreaking that he wasn't the first Australian to get a podium on the Australian Grand Prix. But hopefully he does better next race, and that'll be great.
But it's still an amazing performance put out by McLaren. I mean, that's points. It's better than Red Bull.
Points. P3 in the constructors.
Anything better than Red Bull in Melbourne is a win, I feel like. So yeah.
Controversial opinion.
Morning!
I love Gunther Steiner. He sucks at post-race interviews. He's taking way too much time. Charles can't understand him. I think Charles is slightly deaf. It's fine. Everyone has their troubles, Charles. My thoughts are with you deeply. Vamos, Ferrari, though, getting that P2 to get the 1-2 with Ferrari. Carlos Sainz, vamos, smooth operator.
Now, it's definitely a moment to giggle at when Gunter was interviewing the top three. But he's also a horrible principal, to be fully honest. He can't run a team. Right? This is what they called. That's what they called, right?
I wouldn't. I'm not backing that up.
He's horrible.
I'll stay silent.
He's horrible. That's why he's off Haas.
Bang, bang, bang! Another race, another day! Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Stay tuned for Japan next. Yuki Tsunoda's home race. It'll be a great one. Maybe Max won't DNF. Hopefully he does, because it waits for an interesting race. And Carlos Sainz. Vamos, Carlos. Vamos, Carlos. Ferrari P1, P2. Thank you guys. I'm Biking Coyote.
And I'm CW45. Content's coming out soon.